Hello, my name is Bon Al. I'm not normally the guy to do this kind of thing, content create. Um, Normally pretty shy, pretty introverted. Um, but here recently, I have been seeing signs and have been guided to start talking, and not just to people that I meet in my everyday life, right? To do it in a form such as this that it can reach more people. Um, that being said, understand that a lot of what I have to say may not initially resonate with a lot of you. In my estimation, a lot of people are still asleep. And what I mean by that is they don't realize their own power. It's my hope that I can create a space here where people like minded and unlike minded, honestly, can kind of get together and share information that maybe most would consider out there or exoteric, to say the least. Again, that being said, a lot of what I'm going to tell you, there's no sources for a lot of my information. A lot of it is internal, as it's meant to be, and hopefully I can convey that through time to most people who this comes across. Additionally, I would like to add, if this video has come across your screen, there's a reason for that. There are no such thing as coincidence. The physical reality that we live in and are experiencing is not what we've been taught that it is. And understand first and foremost that I don't say this from a high place, like some of these gurus and spiritualists, which I'm not knocking anybody, love, light, all that to everybody. But a lot of these different channels and different people, it seems that they are speaking as a person who has already transcended. And I want to make it very clear that that's not the case here. I'm very much still on my journey. Very much so. Um, but regardless, I'm being guided by spirit, God, source, whatever name you're comfortable putting to it. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. And hopefully that's one thing that you'll learn from me. Um, that being said, I kind of just want to dive in. This is really just an introduction to let everybody know what to expect. Obviously, moving forward, there will be a different location, just in my car. Like when I say that, like I've been told and shown several times over the last couple of months, and by couple of months I mean about 8 or 9, to start doing this. And tonight, it just got to a point to where it was almost as if, like, you no longer have a choice. You have to go do this. So here I am in my car on my lunch break at my Matrix job. Um, I think that it's important for everybody to, one, accept where you are on your journey. A lot of the content that I intend to release, again, there's no sources for a lot of this. I mean, there are texts and scriptures and all of that we can get into. I have no problem with that. But understand that a lot of what I'm going to tell you is being shown to me on an internal, which, for those of you who study the exoteric, will know that that's how it's supposed to be. Um, So just to give an idea, like the kinds of things that we're going to talk about is consciousness, mainly, because that's really what everything boils down to. And it's important to understand that the definition of consciousness that I feel most people have is incomplete. Maybe not incomplete, but we're taught to view ourselves as conscious and ourselves above everything else on this planet, right? That's a fallacy. We're sentient. We are aware of our existence, but everything is conscious. Modern science, for those of you who are not spiritual, has already proven this with the double slit experiment. You don't know what it is? Look it up. It's quite interesting. For those of you who are not inclined to research and look things up, the gist of it is this. Very simplified, understand, but the gist of it is that in the double slit experiment, an electron was observed making a conscious decision how it behaved depending on whether it was being observed or not. Meaning, when nobody was looking, it moved one way. And while it was being observed by a conscious being, it behaved the way that that conscious being perceived that it would, which ties into a lot of the Hermetic principles and as above, so below, and all of these things. You know, that your perception is your reality. And once you understand that an electron is conscious, well, this vastly, I would hope, it did for me, but it vastly changes how you view everything around you. Because if an electron is conscious, everything's conscious on some level or form. Many people throughout human history have tried to explain this, and most of the time it seems that their teachings get twisted, be it accidentally from a lesser mind who just didn't grasp the overbearing implications, or if it was done deliberately, which most of the time it's been done deliberately. That's another topic that we will get into, is human origins and the things that I have been shown and experienced firsthand, in a way. We're all connected. Everything. Not just here, but everything in the cosmos. Again, if an electron is conscious, everything is conscious, right? What we are experiencing in this moment, in this existence, on this 3D, third dimensional realm, Earth, as we call it, it is in the same sense that a modern day game programmer, somebody who creates video games, will play that game to make sure that everything's working, right? To make sure that it's fluid. And this is exactly what you would call God is doing through everything. Not just us, but everything. Everything is conscious. All that consciousness, it stems from the same source, known as all or source consciousness. It has a million different names and religions. And a lot of you are not going to like that. And I understand that. I will ask, though, that if all you have to bring forth is negativity and hate, keep that to yourself, man. You know, not all of us are trying to do that. Some of us have existed within that vibration for far too long, and we are trying to ascend past it. And that's what I'm here to help do. What form this is going to take long run, I have no idea. I'm just kind of feeling it out. Like I said, man, this is just something that I've been told and shown that, hey, you have to do. A lot of it is going to be wild. A lot of what I'm going to tell you, people will say, oh, that's made up. There's no proof. There's no way that, like, this guy's just crazy. You know, I mean, look at his teeth and all of these things, which are fair points. I get it. Believe you me, like I said, a lot of these spiritualists and gurus and online coaches and everything, they speak from this place of like they're above it. I'm not that guy, man. I am right in the thick of it with you. But if you want, we can figure it out together. And if in some small part that I can play with the information that I have, I mean, use your discernment when I'm talking. When I speak and I tell you things and I don't have sources, use your discernment. If it resonates, cool. If it doesn't, then it's not for you. And in my estimation, it's not for you yet, because it eventually you'll get there and it'll make sense. It doesn't matter what religion you follow. It doesn't. It's all the same thing. Religion is a tool that has been used to control not only the way that you live your life, but every facet of it. The way that you think, the way that you perceive your reality. It's been used as a tool to control. That's what I'm here to break. I've done it in past lives. Kind of, in a way. Obviously, it didn't stick. Because here we are, right? There are many names and things that you will hear me talk about that most people would revere as gods. There are no gods. Not in the sense that you think that there are. Not in the sense that the text in the Bible and the Torah and the Quran and all of these things would like you to believe. There is creator source, no doubt. There is a higher power, a higher being, an architect, if you will. But the information that's not told to you is that we're all part of it. We're all fractals of that architect. Everything is. So, and on in one hand, yes, I'm saying, yeah, you're God incarnate. But so is your cat. So is the table that you're sitting in front of. So is an electron. So, yeah, you're God incarnate, but so is everything. So you're really not that special, right? The same thing can be said for all of these beings that have come to this planet and its past, however remote or not so remote, that have paraded around as gods. This is not true. They are beings of higher consciousness, better technology, yes, but not gods. In the sense that they would like you to believe. Some of them. And some of them that have been hailed as gods have detested that. They're just beings like you and me, self-aware, aware of our own existence, aware that we are all fractals of source, experiencing the vastness of our creation from every possible facet possible simultaneously. These beings knew that. And through certain events that have unfolded, we were led into the shadows. Really, humanity was born into chains, which is against cosmic law, which is one of the reasons why things on this planet have gotten so bad. When you take a being of light, of consciousness, and you strip it, you're welcoming vastness of darkness, I would assume. Because when you do that, and you take a being that knows it's of the light, and from its conception, you strip it of the ability to discern that for itself. This is how you get sheeple, as I call them. People who are asleep. We see them everywhere. Newer age people will call them NPCs, non-playable characters. Soulless. Very real, man. Like there are some. There are some people walking around that I operate on vibration and frequency, man, and there's a lot of people walking around that they don't have one. I believe that this is due to a lot of the extinction that we as a species have caused. We've created these gaps in what I call a soul path. An electron is conscious. Well, that's where I would imagine you would start as a fractal. And through time and experience, you move forward and you evolve. But when you cause extinction events and replace all the grass with concrete and chop down all the trees and other beings for profit and gain and for very low vibrational things. And I'm not blaming anybody. This is what we were taught to do. And not just in this lifetime, in this modern day era. I mean, from man's inception, we were taught we were tools. But everything is conscious. And eventually everything wakes up. And it's time for us to wake up. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what this is. And to some of you, you will just see some guy sitting in a car talking a whole bunch of nonsense, which I admit, this first video, forgive me for my ramblings. First time, guys. Never done this. I am following an intuitive push. That's what I'm doing. And it's going to work out. I know it is. This is going to go, I wouldn't say viral overnight, but a lot of people are going to be drawn to the content that I put out. I know this. I've been told it. I've been shown it. I know it's coming. Some of them good, some of them not so great. And so again, if you're one of those people that is just super low vibration, has nothing good or positive to say, if it's not for you, dude, move along. Click off. You know what I mean? It's that easy. Just swipe up. Just bloop. Swipe me right off your screen. I'm not going to be butthurt at all. But don't send me all of your negative vibes and negative energies. Or send them in general. The power of the individual thought is highly underrated. And our understanding of what it does once it leaves your mind, because once a thought is created, is formed, is a thought is thought. Once a thought gets thought, it's out there, man. And it holds the energy, and it holds power, and so do the words that you speak. I had somebody say to me recently, and it just resonated. I'm being told to say it here, so here we go. There's a reason why we call it spelling. Every word spoken is a spell. That's why we call it spelling. Right? little truths like that we've been taught to think of as superstition. And this has all been done in an effort to contain, to control. It's time to break those containments. And that's what I would like to do. So, if you want to dive into consciousness and human origins and spirituality, as some people will see it, and really get to the bottom of what this existence is and what we're supposed to be doing here, then welcome. I am Von Al. This has been the first chat. I'm not quite sure what we're going to call this yet, but thanks for coming to my talk, I suppose. Again, if anything that I said resonates, man, hit that like, share, subscribe. There's more coming. Share it with your friends, man. Send it to somebody who you think that will understand. And again, I apologize. I know that this video has kind of just been a rambling. It's just one long ramble. Understood. But again, like I said in the very beginning, man, I don't do this. This is the first time. Wasn't on the bingo card, so to say. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut out, guys. I'll put up another video tomorrow, hopefully far more structured, you know. I'll actually have like a topic picked out and all of these things, and we can actually dive in and discuss. But for now, man, stay safe. Sending love and light to everybody. Always, always, always. Stay in high vibration, guys. It's time to wake up.